How's it going, Professor?
Good morning. Good morning. How's it going?
Not too bad.
All right. All right. Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you. Good morning, everyone. We'll just give everybody a few seconds getting in, and then we'll get rolling. It's 12. Let's give them to 12:01, and then we'll go ahead and get started.
Actually, I got a question for you before we start, Professor.
Yes, sir.
Um, I know I was emailing you the past couple days. Is it possible that I could just stay after the meeting and ask my questions here?
Sure. Sure. Mhm.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
And don't let me forget to stop the recording once me and you
Yeah, yeah, gotcha. Thank you.
I might forget. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Looks like everybody up. Still got one of them doing mic check. Let's give them a second. All right. Well, hopefully they'll go ahead and get in there. All right. So good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's doing great. Good afternoon, right? 12:01. Hope everybody's doing great. Everybody's all right. Appreciate you guys' patience with the miscommunication. A couple of pieces of miscommunication. Had a few family issues that took my mind off of. I actually thought the email was sent out to for this moment and everything, and it was never sent out. So then when I was looking to do it, y'all didn't even have the information. So I appreciate you guys being able to tune in today. And then for those who missed it, I will be sending out this recording. So when it comes to class, you guys, I know you've been getting a lot of my emails, but if you ever have any class emails or you ever have a question on if I've sent out any class emails when you go to Canvas. Oh, and let me mention this. Some of you are in here for 155 and some of you are in here for 161. I have the same stuff flowing for each class, just different assignments. So everything I say for one class means for the other, except for definitions, that's for 155, but we'll talk about that when we get there. So if I mention 155 or I mention 161, that's why I have two different classes in here. But like I said, the dates and everything, the way we operate is going to be the same. So when you go into your Canvas shell, hit the announcements. That's where all of the class emails will be archived. That's the only thing I use Canvas for. So you won't see any grades in Canvas, any due dates. The syllabus is not a Canvas. The only thing we're going to use Canvas for is to archive emails because I wanted to have a place that you guys could go to see where, past messages were sent to the class or maybe to check to see if anything has been sent to the class that you may have missed. So all class emails will be archived here. But I didn't want to create a whole bunch of dual places where you would go to get information. So here's where we'll have all our emails, but everything else will be in MathLab. Like I said, your syllabus, due dates, your assignments, grades, everything we do will be done through MathLab. I just couldn't get the emails to be sent to MathLab. But if I could have done that, then I would have sent everything through MathLab. All right. So like I said, all of our emails will be archived in your announcement. So I think you guys would actually get two notifications from me. I send it to you personally through SIS, and then I send it through Canvas as well. So all right. So just looking at the emails that I've sent to you guys up to this point, just course description, letting you know what type of class this was online. And we don't meet at any specific time. But you can get your content and I'll show you, where you would get your content from. But you just at your own pace knocking out this stuff. And we don't have any specific time that we meet as far as class is concerned. Oh, didn't you do that? Stop, no. All right, so the second one was talking about class start date. Of course, that was this Monday, June 3rd. But I was giving you guys the opportunity to get into your assignments if you wanted to get a head start. I did give you that opportunity. The next one was MathLab Access. Just telling you your course code, course ID. Like I said, this is for 155. This is your course ID for 155. For 161, you had a different course ID. I think it was 16190. I think for 161. Anyway, but Tucker is the first part and then that number. And so this lets you know how to do so. You register, click register in MathLab, and then you have three options. You either input your access code that you purchased from an outside source, whether it be TCC, maybe you found it on Amazon, wherever you found it, you didn't get it from Pearson. And so they will ask for that 16-digit access code. You could actually purchase access from Pearson right there. And if that's the case, they will not give you a code. It would just go ahead and give you the access because you purchased it through them. And then if you're not ready to purchase, you can just click the 14-day free pass, which gives you 14 days full access. Now, after the 14 days, they're gonna lock your account and say, we need you to pay. If by some chance you don't have it at that moment, you will not lose your progress. It will just, like I said, lock you out from that moment. I will still be able to have access to what you've done up to that point, but you won't until you pay. Once you pay, you can pick up where you left off. All right. Questions so far? Anything I've said up to this point? Everybody good? All right. Next one, MATLAB specifics. So just telling you how we're going to use MATLAB in this course. First statement of note, just want to make sure we're clear. MATLAB does not work well with Safari. It's best to use Chrome or Firefox. Chrome always works well for me. But the thing about Safari, it acts real funky. It doesn't connect well, communicate well. Sometimes it will pull up stuff, sometimes it won't. For 155, when you look at your definitions, it'll pull up just one page and then none of the other pages and stuff like that. So, like I said, stay away from Safari. Chrome is always the best bet. All right, and Chrome is free download if you've never downloaded Chrome before, so I'm not asking you to spend any more money. All right, so for this class, I'm not asking you to purchase any hard copy of the text. Everything you need is going to be in MATLAB. There is an e-text in MATLAB that you will have access to, which is the same as a hard copy of the book. So you don't need it, unless you just want to purchase it. So you cannot pass the class without access to MATLAB. And I've already mentioned this, but all your assignments and tests, even your final exam, will be done through MATLAB. We don't meet regularly. So in order to show your participation or show your activity or solidify your activity, I will be looking at MATLAB and I will be looking at your attendance weekly. So it's not daily or every other day. I'm not asking you to do that, but at least once a week, get in there. Of course, especially with this short time frame that we have, you want to get in there as much as possible. But let me check something real quick. Okay, yeah. I'll get in as much as possible. But if by some chance you had a crazy week and you wasn't able to get in there, at least go in there and log in. Take a look at the assignment, go in homework, hit save, come out. Something that solidifies your attendance weekly. All right. If you're having any attendance issues, any type of issues with anything with MATLAB, any issues doing anything, always make sure you communicate that with me. If multiple people let me know MATLAB went down, then I know for a fact MATLAB went down. It's hard to say MATLAB went down when only one person said MATLAB went down. You know what I mean? When I got like 5 classes and nobody said MATLAB went down. So I need everybody to communicate something. If something funky is going on, and that lets me know how to operate and move accordingly. All right. Let's see. I said that part. You will. So let's look at homework. You have unlimited amount of tries to get the best grade possible on your homework. Talking about homework. So if you score 75 to 84.9, I will put a 90% in my grade book. If you score 85 to 100, then I'll give you 100% full credit. So if you really want to get 100% full credit for your homework, you want to score 85. That will not reflect in MATLAB. That's something that I will do at the end of the grading. When I do my final grading, it's something I will do calculate manually myself. But in MATLAB, when you see the 75, it would just say 75. So just let you know how that works. That's something I'll do at the end. Notice I didn't mention anything less than 75 because with unlimited amount of tries, if you wanted to get a 75, you kind of can because there's no such thing as unlimited amount of problems. So when you click it, and I'll show you how MATLAB works if you haven't gotten to it yet. When you click on the homework, if you get it wrong, it tells you what the answer is. If you want to play the game, you can keep clicking on it until that problem come back up. I mean, I'm just saying, I know for a fact that there's some people that does that because they have 100 streaks on the homework and then get a 20 on the test. So please don't do that. It's not the best practice. You want to get your practice in on how to do these problems before you get to the test. And then that way you'll be good to go. Let's see. What if you finish the class early? Will you still be getting full attendance points, even if you don't go in MATLAB the last few weeks? Yes, just let me know so I can look out for that. Yeah, so just, once again, it's all about communicating. I work with people, I don't mind because I've opened up everything. We haven't gotten to that yet, but I've opened up everything. So you have the freedom to go and knock out stuff as soon as possible. Now, will you be able to take the final exam early? That's something we have to talk about because then I got to see, do I have time in my schedule? But that's something we will talk about. Like I said, and that's an individual thing. So just email me. I'll do whatever I can to work with you. Y'all won't even let me get through my little emails and stuff. No, I'll just play. Yeah, so final exam. Somebody asked about the final exam. Since we're here, right? The final exam is going to be the last week of class. So I think the last week class for this is 7/31. No, 7/23, right? 7/23. So that week of. And so what's going to happen is I'm going to give you 3 or 4 days to choose from and specific times on those days. And you just pick one of those days and log on to Zoom, and then you'll be able to take your test. Yep. So I try to give you a few days, a few options there that, you know, people work, I got an evening option, you know, all that stuff. So I'll shoot those to you guys, you know, soon. But yep, that's what's going to happen. I give you 3 or 4 different days and time options to choose from. Yep. All right. Anything else? Anybody else? Everybody good? And I'm just joking, y'all. If y'all got questions, feel free to ask. I'm just messing. All right. So the next thing, test reviews. For each test, there is a test review. They are not mandatory. But if you were to do them, if you score 85 or better, I'll add 5 points to that respective test. I know a lot of people always talk about extra credit and stuff like that. So that's a way to get some extra credit in. Let's see what else about the test reviews. They're set up like homework, so you can do it unlimited amount of times. They get the best grade possible. They will not be counted against you once again. So let's say if you go in there, do a couple problems, you only score 20. Math lab may say, you know, may reflect that, but when I do my final grading, it will not be held against you. Right. So now you have the 2 main things that I will assess you with is your homework and your test. So we talked about homework. Now your test, you have 2 attempts to get the best grade possible. For your homework, remember I said unlimited. For your test, you have 2. And, you know, if something happens, the cat walk across the computer, hit enter, something, you know, something like that, all you got to do is, once again, it's all about communication. I don't mind give you an extra attempt. Just got to let me know, and then we can work it out. But yeah, but you automatically get 2 attempts on your test. And I take the highest out of those 2. All right. And then, and this especially for my 161s, you know, email me a copy of your scratch work. 155s, you're gonna have a little bit of calculations, but more is more concepts than it is calculation. But you'll see when you get in there. Well, most definitely for 161, you guys should have some work to email me. Is the test and the retake the same test? And will it show us what we got wrong on the first attempt? Yes, the first attempt, whenever you get it wrong, it will tell you what the answer is. And I'm about to go into Math Lab and show you that when you do the homeworks, now these problems on your test are pulled from the homeworks. So they're not going to be problems that just pulled out of the blue and trying to look, where did this come from? So they should have been problems that you've seen before. If nothing else, always take a look at the test reviews. Even if you don't do them, at least take a look at them. I always suggest, because that'll let you know what type of problems you'll see on your test as well. And so, yeah, both tests are going to be the same, but the numbers are going to be different. So where one might be 5x, the other one might be 6x, or, you know, something like that. The numbers will be different. So you won't be able to do a carbon copy of it, but the processes will be the same that you will be able to implement on the second go around. So hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if I didn't answer your question completely. All right, any other questions before we go to the next thing? Okay, so now there is not a time limit on your test, but your final exam is 2 hours. And so now, and I never make a test that's supposed to take up to 2 hours, but it is there for you if you need it. So my goal isn't to fill up 2 hours worth of test time. But like I said, it's there for you if you need it. And all your tests, once again, your tests are not timed. All right, next one. Previously recorded lectures. So these are all the lectures for all of my classes. I mean, all my yeah. So for both classes, all of my lectures, it's the same guys, same notes, same everything, same examples that you would get if you were in my in-person class. So if you took me 155 in class or 161 in class, it would be the same thing going on. You would you'll see me doing, you know, on screen, writing and talking just like this. So it will be the same thing. And so I just so happened to record them from multiple other classes and went here to save and put them on YouTube. And now you guys have access to them as well. Now, do you have to look at them? Nope. If you don't need them, then hey, they are just there for you if you would like them. All right. Questions on that? Questions? Let's see. So that optional class intro meeting is today. Thank you for those of you who shot me that email. Let me know that I put 6/23 in the due dates instead of 7/23. Appreciate you guys being on top of that. I really thought I put 7/23. And then also then with your office hours. Yeah. So my ones that I have set Monday, Wednesday at 10 o'clock, and then Tuesday from 3 to 5. Now, if you know you're gonna meet me or need to meet me on one of those days, it will help me if you send me an email, let me know, hey, I plan on coming through on Monday at 10. Or if you know you're coming in on Monday, but you're not gonna be able to get there till 11, then let me know so I know to be looking for you. Especially if I'm in the office or at home, anything can pull me out. If I'm not talking to anybody, anything can pull me out of the office, but if I know I'm sitting there waiting for somebody, then most definitely I will sit there and wait for you. So, just throw me a bone on that. I didn't mean to stress you out, my bad. But yeah, most definitely. But yeah. If y'all see something like that, and I don't know how other professors operate or whatever, but everybody's human. So if y'all see something like that, feel free. Shoot me that email, let me know. And we'll make sure things are, clarity is given. And like in this case, it was most definitely my fault. I put 623, so 7. All right, so everybody's good on the emails before we go to Math Lab. Good. All right, so let's look at Math Lab. All right, not coming up. So when we talked about registering, you would go down here to student access. All right. If you have not registered, I know a lot of you have already registered, so that's good. And of course, we're not using LMS. That's the learner management system. We do use it. That's Canvas, but we're not connecting it. I just done stuff like that before, and it was just a little more messy than they may have cleaned it up by now. It was just a little messy, so that's why I just keep it separate. Just go to MathLab. So, all right, so you just go here, ready to register, and then you'll put in that code that we mentioned. Let's see if I was right about that. 161.2.161.90. Yep. I must have been good. Yep. So then either you will create an account or use an account that you've already created, and then you just put in information in from there. And then what's gonna happen once you create an account, it'll take you to the shell and all this stuff like that. So I saw that many of you have already registered, so we're good to go on that. But if you haven't and you have some issues, let me know. Let's go ahead and get in here. All right, so I'll just in 155 in Kansas. Let's go to 161. All right, so going into Math Lab, you'll see your syllabus right here. Both classes should be updated now. I should say, and all the good stuff like that. Let's see your assignments here. Once again, it's updated. Should say 723. And so all of them, they set up like this. Now in 155, you have chapter 1 and chapter 2, then your test. Chapter 3, chapter 4, and then your test. But in 161, it's just one chapter test, the other chapter test, and so on. So both classes are set up a little different, but you see all of your assignments, test review, then the test, all the assignments, test review, and test. And so, yeah, indeed, you should be able to see your final exam review. You won't be able to see your final. I just haven't posted it yet. There's no need, because if you were to click on it, then it will ask you for the password. And that password you do not get until your final exam day. So that's why I just haven't posted it yet. There's no need for it. Let's see. Then your e-text is right here. Either hit this one. Yeah. Somebody asking a question. Do this 623. You got me calculating. Look, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. But yeah, I didn't mean it. But yeah, so but if you go to e-text, you just go over here and you get a download open up. I didn't mean to cause so much havoc in people's lives. My fault. So it does take a little while sometimes to load up, depending on how many. I know you can see all these windows I got, so that might prevent it from coming up immediately as well. But yeah. So your phone, not say your phone, your text, is exactly what you will see. Your text exactly what you will see. In the regular book, you can even type right here and change the page and go to whatever page you want to go to. Appreciate it. All right. So let's see, what else do we need out here before I go into an assignment? I think that's all you guys need. So let's go into assignment real quick so I can show you how this works. All right, so let's say if we have this problem and you wanna, I'll just click it anything. So they tell you this is incorrect. They try to give you a hint as to how the problem can be solved. You get a hint again. So now notice now it says final. And so they give you 3 chances normally to get the answer correct. Now, by some chance, well, let me say it like this. The complexity of the problem may give you less options. So what I mean by that, especially in 155, if you have like a true false question or if it's a definition type question, you may only have one shot because all you gotta do is because it's unlimited amount of tries, you just come back and then click the other one type of thing. So, but if there's real computation involved, they'll give you 3 chances to get the answer correct. If you get it wrong, and see, this is what I meant. They'll tell you what the correct answer is and tell you what your answer was. So you either hit similar question or next question. Let's say you didn't hit similar question right there. Of course, it's gonna mark it wrong. Put a red X there. And if you were to go to your homework list, see the red X beside question 5. Once you get it right, it will turn to a green check. If it's a question that has multiple answers, then that means you can get some right, some wrong. Then you can get a green check / red X, which means you got some of it right, some of it wrong. If you didn't hit similar question immediately, you can hit it right here in the right corner, and then that will reset it. And notice all the numbers are different, but the process is still the same. And so you can implement the process. Your help tools are down here. Help me solve this. Normally people do not click on that because that will help you solve the problem and then just mark it wrong. So, and reason being is because they just gave you the answer, right, and the process. So what normally people like to do is view an example, which they will walk you through a problem that's very similar to it. So they'll give you the process, and then from there you can close it out, and then go to the problem and implement the process you just saw. Some people will print these out, and I've known people that have like a binder full of stuff they printed out. So it's up to you how you want to handle that. But then you can go back to the problem. Get more help, depending on the complexity of the problem, will dictate how many more options you have here. Sometimes Pearson will have one of their instructors with a video. Sometimes they have an animation. If you were to click textbook, it will send you to the textbook where this problem is discussed. As my instructor sends me an email that you had a problem with this problem. So with Ask My Instructor, every now and then the interface don't connect as well, maybe sometimes, because somebody say I did ask my instructor and I never got the email. I don't know if they did something wrong or if it did interface well, I don't know. But always remember my email. I'm not telling you the email so that I will not respond. It is possible that stuff didn't happen right, or maybe something happened over here on my end when I wasn't able to get to it in a timely fashion. Always feel free to email me directly or come to the office hours. So we're gonna make sure that you're straight. The goal is to make sure that you're good moving forward with whatever questions that you have. I think that's it for that. Questions on MATLAB, how I set up this part anyway. Is that good? Is that straight? All right, let's go back to the shell. I'll make sure we have covered everything. I think we are good to go because the assignments say 7:31. And always make sure you guys are watching your emails as we go through them. So as we go throughout the session, just in case I reach out to you. And once again, you're going to hear from me about your final exam date. So that's going to be the case. So one last thing I know I want to cover before we close out. And anybody else have any more questions? 155, you have these two chapter 1 definition, chapter 2 definitions. You only have those for chapter 1 and chapter 2. You don't have any more definitions after that because chapter 1, chapter 2 are kind of foundational chapters where they give you a lot of terms. And it is to your benefit to know these terms and review them. And statistics can have its own language. And so these definitions, you don't go asking Siri, Alexa, or anything like that. You got to pull these definitions from a statistical book because there's a chance that these words mean something different in the real world versus in the statistical world. So there are certain words that mean something different depending on where you pull them from. So your book is always a safe space. It's always good to just use the book that you have. And so you see that we have here all these definitions. Let's look at the first page. It says, what are two definitions of statistics? What is population, population parameter, sample, raw data? So the reason why I say that is because I didn't make this to be a hard task. It's just to familiarize you with the terms in the text and to get you going and make sure you have an understanding about what is going on foundationally with statistics and your definitions. So it's not a scavenger hunt. It isn't a treasure hunt. It's all in order. And like I said, it's just to familiarize you guys with the terms that you'll be dealing with throughout the session. So notice the first thing they ask you, two definitions of statistics. That was the first question. Then you go into population parameters, the next two questions. And those questions, those definitions are even in the blue box. Then you got sample, raw data already in the blue box. So all of these things are lined up and are in order. So it should be an easy grade for you. And so if you get to, let's say you get to number 17, simple random sampling, and you didn't get the purpose of statistics somewhere or something like that, then you know you skipped something, you missed something. It's all in order. All right. And so you can turn that into me by, I think I said the 16th when somebody asked me in the email. Yep, 16th. So if you can get that to me by the 16th, this is the only assignment wherein you would do it outside of MATLAB and email me. Once you do that, then I will manually put your grade into MATLAB. But everything else will be done through MATLAB, hit submit and all the good stuff like that. But this one, you have to either type them up, write them up, whatever way. If you want to write them in your notebook, take a picture, then email me the pictures, that's fine. Whatever way, but you have to email it to me, and then I will manually put your grade into MATLAB. All right, question about those definitions?
Yeah, so for definitions for chapter 1 and 2, we turn them in?
Yes.
And are they both due on what, this month, the 16th?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Go ahead and knock them out, get them out the way, because the longer they're lingering out there, you want to get to the other chapters and everything. So
yeah, absolutely. Is it due before the test, or can I do the test first? I mean,
you can do it. Yeah, as long as you get it to about 16, it doesn't matter the order.
Cool. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. All right. Anything else? Anybody else? And y'all, and that was a great question about that. To me, there is a best practice when it comes to chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, and all that good stuff like that. But if by some chance, like you were looking ahead and you saw chapter 3, you're like, oh, I can do this easily. And you do chapter 3 out before you do chapter 2, or you do chapter 4 before you do as long as you guys get the work done and you have an understanding of what you're doing, I'm not here to judge. You know what I mean? You might even do all of chapter 1, but you didn't do the best that you like, but you want to knock out some stuff. And after you've done chapter 3, you come back and do chapter 1 to get your grades pulled up. Like, there are different ways we can manage this stuff, especially since there's only one due date. But the main thing is to get everything in by that one due date. Yeah. All right. Anything else? Anybody else? Any questions, concerns, comments? Talking about class stuff. Any individual stuff, I'll most definitely cut off the recording and just address any individual issues. But any other questions?
I gotta head out soon. Actually, so I don't care if it's recorded or not. It's pertaining to the class.
Okay, cool.
But so just to reiterate kind of what you said, there is no outside of MATLAB's assignments, correct?
Right.
Besides, I guess the chapter definitions.
Yeah, there's definitions, but technically they're still in math. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is it. I'm not going to hit you with any curveballs. You have everything you need. All the assignments that you see was what you're going to get.
Okay. And also, because I did the 14-day trial. I didn't feel like paying $75, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So if I finish everything within that 14 days, is that cool?
Yeah, man, I can't get mad at you, man.
Okay. And do I still need MATLABs for the final? Is my last
question.
So
yeah, if you're trying to grind like that, you most definitely need to hit me with that personal email before. At least, yeah, you can't do on 13 days and expecting me to be ready on the 14th day. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Tell me if you're trying to make that happen or something, or just email me. We'll talk about it.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. And yeah, I think that's it. And we don't actually for the final, we don't need to use like the proctored respondents or anything, right?
You're fine. Yep, the only proctor would just be me. And so, yeah.
Okay. And is that going to be through Zoom while we're taking the
Yes.
exam? Okay. So it's a
Mhm.
scheduled thing.
Yes, I'm gonna give you 3 or 4 days with different times that you can choose from.
Okay.
So like you might have Monday at 10, Tuesday at 12, Thursday at 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock, something in the evening, something in the morning that you can pick, what fits your schedule. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate the help.
Yep, no problem, no problem.
You have a good one now, Professor.
You do the same. Take care. Anybody else? Anybody else? Can we have notes on the phone? Yes, you will be able to use notes. That's fine. Mhm. Anything else? Anybody else before we close? So you can use notes and you can use your calculator. For especially for stats, my 155, you're gonna have as you go throughout the sessions, you will see the book even tell you to use technology. So using whether it be StatCrunch or some type of statistical calculator, you're gonna need that. And then 161, the graphing calculator, or just really a scientific calculator. You don't need a graphing calculator, but a scientific calculator would be in your best interest to have. All right. Anything else? Anybody else? Everybody good with it? All right. But if you guys are good, I'm good. Don't forget if you have any questions and they come up later on, feel free to shoot me that email. And I look forward to help navigate you guys through this summer session. Y'all have a good one. All right. Take care. Thank you.